You were 8 years old when you learned your feelings didn't matter. Maybe your mom was crying in the kitchen and you walked in with a scraped knee, but you turned around and walked back out. Maybe your dad's anger filled every room, so you learned to shrink, to disappear, to become invisible. Or maybe it was quieter than that. No yelling, no chaos, just emptiness. Parents who were physically there but emotionally gone. And somewhere in your young mind, you made a silent deal. If I take care of them, maybe they'll be okay. And if they're okay, maybe I'll finally be safe. That's the moment childhood died, not with a bang, with a whisper, a promise you'd carry for decades. I'll be strong. I'll hold it together. I won't need anyone. But here's what nobody tells you about growing up too fast. You don't just lose your childhood. You lose the instruction manual for being human. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you explains everything. Why your relationships feel broken, why you can't rest, why you feel empty even when you're doing everything right. Let me explain what actually happened in your brain. Psychologists call it parentification, when a child becomes the parent, the caregiver, the emotional manager for adults who should have been managing them. And it doesn't just happen in broken homes, it happens in normal families too. Maybe your parent was depressed and you became their reason to live. Maybe they were stressed and you learned your job was to be easy, to not add to their burden. Here's the neurological truth. Your developing brain got flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone. Your nervous system learned the world was dangerous and survival meant reading every room, managing every emotion, and burying your own needs. Trauma researchers call this hypervigilance. You became a human emotional radar, scanning for threats, feeling energy shifts before anyone spoke, knowing someone was angry before they said a word. Not because you were special, because you had to be. And here's the cruelest part. The world praised you for it. You're so mature for your age. Such a good kid. I don't know what I'd do without you. Those weren't compliments, they were chains. Because every time someone rewarded your premature adulthood, they taught you that your worth depended on how much you could carry. So, you carried more. You became the peacekeeper, the achiever, the friend everyone dumps on but nobody checks on. And the real you, the messy, needy, playful child, you buried them alive. But they didn't die. They're still in there, still waiting, still screaming. And that's why your adult life feels so broken. Fast forward 20 years. You're successful now. Career, relationship, a life that looks fine from the outside. But something's wrong, and you can't name it. Maybe you're hyper-independent. You'd rather suffer alone than ask for help. Because needing something as a child meant being a burden. Maybe you're chronically exhausted but can't stop moving. Rest feels dangerous. Productivity is the only proof you're worthy. Maybe you sabotage relationships. Someone loves you softly and suddenly you're picking fights, pushing them away, going numb. Because intimacy doesn't feel like love. It feels like debt. Or maybe you're the opposite. You overfunction. You're the fixer, the therapist, doing emotional labor for two people and wondering why you're so resentful when you're giving everything. Here's why. You're not in a relationship. You're back in your childhood, trying to earn love by being useful. The cruelest irony? The thing you fear most, abandonment, being too much, is exactly what your coping creates. When you never let anyone see the real you, they can't love you. Only the role you're playing. This is the trap. The child who grew up too fast becomes the adult who can't slow down. You mistake anxiety for intuition, people-pleasing for kindness, and boundaries for betrayal. Until one day you're sitting in silence, everything's fine, and you start crying for no reason. That's not a breakdown. That's the buried child finally saying, I'm still here, and I'm tired. But why did you do this to yourself in the first place? Here's the heartbreaking answer. Children will abandon themselves to feel loved. There's something hardwired in every human from birth. Stay attached to your caregiver or die. A baby alone doesn't survive. Evolution made sure of that. So when your parent was drowning in their own chaos, your brain didn't think, "This is unhealthy." Your brain panicked, "What do I need to do to make them stay?" And you found the answer, be smaller, need less, give more, be perfect. That wasn't weakness. That was your nervous system being brilliant, doing exactly what it evolved to do. You adapted, you survived. But here's the problem. What saved you at 7 is destroying you at 37. Those survival tools, the hypervigilance, the people-pleasing, the self-abandonment, they're not helping anymore. They're suffocating you. You're not in danger now. But your nervous system doesn't know that. It's still back there, holding its breath, waiting for the explosion. Psychologists call this developmental trauma. And it's cruel because there's no evidence, no scars, no villain to blame. Sometimes your parents loved you. They just couldn't see past their pain to see you. They needed you to hold them up when they should have been holding you. And you did it, because what choice did you have? But here's what breaks my heart. You were never supposed to be that strong. You were supposed to be protected. So how do you fix this? The answer is going to sound too simple, but it's everything. Before you can heal, you have to witness what happened. You have to turn toward that kid you buried and finally say what nobody else did. What happened to you wasn't okay. You didn't deserve that. You were just a child. This is called reprinting. And it's not about blaming your parents. It's about giving yourself what you needed then. So you stop searching for it in every person and achievement now. Ask yourself, what did I need as a kid that I never got? Permission to mess up? To take up space? To rest without earning it? You can give that to yourself now. Not to change the past, but to stop repeating it. Here's what this looks like. Setting a boundary, even when guilt is crushing you. Asking for help when every cell is screaming you're a burden. Saying, "I'm not okay," instead of that automatic, "I'm fine." Letting yourself cry without apologizing. Choosing softness when strength feels safer. And yes, it means grieving. Real, ugly grieving. Not the Instagram version. The anger at what was stolen. The sadness for the kid who deserved more. The loneliness of carrying it alone. That grief isn't you breaking, it's you finally becoming human again. Because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You have to go back and get that child yourself. Nobody's coming to rescue the kid you buried. Not your partner, not your therapist, not your future self. It has to be you. You have to reach into that darkness and say, "I see you now. You're safe with me." And slowly, you start dismantling the lies. That your needs are too much. That love must be earned. That rest equals laziness. That vulnerability means weakness. That your worth depends on what you do for others. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This isn't fate. It's programming. And programming can be rewritten. You won't stop being strong. You'll stop having to be strong every second just to feel worthy. You'll finally let yourself be weak, messy, imperfect, and still deserving of love. Because that child inside you needs to hear this. You never had to earn your place. You were always enough, just by existing. Your childhood is gone. That's the hard truth. But your life is happening right now. And this time, you get to write it from truth, from choice, from freedom. You can choose rest without guilt. You can choose softness without shame. You can stop performing and just be. Let that kid come home, let them play, cry, take up space. You're not broken. You never were. You're just finally becoming whole. Finally growing up the way you should have from the start. Not through fear, not through pressure, but through love. The love you're learning to give yourself. You didn't get to have a childhood, but you still have a future. And this time, you're free. If this hit you in the chest, you need to know you're not alone. Millions of us carry this same story. Share this with someone who's still carrying too much. Someone who needs to hear they don't have to be strong anymore. And remember, healing isn't a straight line. Some days you'll feel like that scared kid again. That's the point. Let them show up. Let them finally be seen. Because the way forward is through. and you've already survived the hardest part. Now, you just get to learn how to live.